We have with us Nadine Maenza, President of IRF Secretariat, an international organization focused on building infrastructure to support the religious freedom movement globally. Welcome to the show, Nadine.
Thank you so much for having me.
So thank you for visiting Bangladesh. You have attended a multi-faith conference. And I hope that you've heard that we Bangladeshi people have different perspective. We have multiple religions, people living here in harmony. So have you seen that reflection during your visit?
Absolutely. I was inspired actually by the history here of how Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, Hindus really live together peacefully, work together, and even stand up for each other's rights. So it's been wonderful to see how they could even further work together and continue this environment of multi-faith harmony.
Tell me more about the conference. What was the objective of the visit and what you guys have done during the conference?
So I was supporting the Multi-Faith Neighbors Network, and the whole idea is to bring people of all four religions together, particularly leaders. So we had religious leaders from all the religions, and they come together, they plan on how they can visit each other's families, how they can do a community project together, and how they could further develop their own relationships with each other, but also the people in their congregations, in their communities, to just further build that social cohesion for Bangladesh.
You've been to Dhaka University. That's literally the ground zero of the Monsoon Revolution or the July Revolution. As you might have known that 6 months ago, the Gen Z students-led unarmed protests successfully toppled the autocratic regime of Sheikh Hasina. So have you seen or visited any July Revolution graffiti or something like that?
Yeah, so I was able to visit with students that were a part of the protests and that have a vision of a Bangladesh that they could have their choices of the kind of life they're going to live, have the kind of relationships they want with the other religious communities. So I was encouraged by their hope for the future, and this does seem a moment. There are people that have some fear of the political using religion to try to divide people. And there's a real push against that. So there was almost like a defiance that they weren't going to allow politics to try to ruin the relationships they have with people from other religions. So if anything, I think it's been a call to safeguard their religious conditions and to make sure that politics don't get in the way of the harmony that they grew up with.
Taking that point on note, politics and religion. So as you know that the recent fall of Sheikh Hasina regime and the new interim government led by Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus has faced some sort of change, conflicts or pushbacks. Change we have experienced like incitement and false narrative, disinformation and misinformation campaigns running from India and other external entities. So how one should deal with external entities and what can international organizations like yourself do?
So that was one of the reasons I chose to visit. Is I know from the travels that I do around the world that what you see on Twitter or X or Facebook isn't always what's happening on the ground. So my best recommendation is to talk to people who live here and get a firsthand source of what's happening on the ground. Don't just presume a story that you read in a credible news source is actually the truth. Because there is a lot of misinformation or there's truths that are exaggerated, and hearing from the people themselves is a totally different picture than what I would have picked up on social media. So the most important thing is to reach out to an organization on the ground, talk to people, hear what's happening here rather than just reading it and think that you know.
Right. Thank you so much, Nadine. It was wonderful having you here with us at Centrist Nation today.
Thanks so much. It's been wonderful being in Bangladesh. I've appreciated the warm welcome. I look forward to visiting again.
Thank you so much.